Now, South Africa is facing a criminal justice crisis. The lower courts cannot access court records since the Department of Justice's systems were hacked a month ago. Yesterday, the court case related to the murder of whistleblower Babita Deokaran was once again postponed due to technical issues with the court's recording equipment. The case was postponed last Friday for the same reason. Let's speak to our reporter Berry Bateman, who's following this story for us. Berry, you have spoken to prosecutors. How serious is this problem and how are they dealing with it?
Yeah, good afternoon, Clement. You just touched on there in your introduction, the matter of Babita Deokaran and the 6 people that were arrested there. We heard yesterday apparently technical issues with the recording equipment. It's not the recording equipment that's got the technical issues. It's the ability of the court to be able to save the recordings for that particular day. They do not have a server to which they can upload the recordings for the day. So in this particular matter, they postponed it until November. I've spoken to prosecutors elsewhere in the criminal justice system, and they've told me that in some cases they will record for the day, so matters will proceed. But what they will do is at the end of the day, the clerks will save the recordings onto a CD. You now have clerks of courts around the country who are managing stacks of CDs in the hope that once the server is restored at some time in the future, that they will then upload those recordings onto the server. The other way that they are doing it, and this is what happened in Babita Deokaran's matter yesterday, was that they would record it longhand. So the courts ordinarily take their own notes, but it is not ideal if you do not have the recording system that is usually there, that is the backup that is stored onto the server that the courts can rely on.
So obviously there are implications of this on our criminal justice system.
I'll give you the maxim, justice delayed is justice denied. And I'll again go back to this Deokaran matter. Those 6 suspects were arrested a month ago. They've been ready to apply for bail a week after being arrested. The matter has now been postponed until November. That'll be 8 weeks before they even get an opportunity to apply for bail. And that's if the system is up and running when we get to that particular point. So we know about this particular instance, Clement, is because it's a high-profile matter. We're all watching. There are many other cases that simply are being delayed. People are being remanded in custody without being given an opportunity to proceed or to apply for bail. The other aspect, if you've been sitting on trial for the last 2 years and you're now getting to a point where you are at closing arguments, if your defence counsel requests the record of proceedings in order to prepare those arguments, they're simply inaccessible at this stage, and there's no indication when they will be accessible. Again, matters are delayed. What they can do is they can reconstruct the record, but that takes significant coordination and effort from the magistrate, the prosecutor and the defence team, and it's not ideal because it is not word for word. So those are the real applications. It's an injustice to people who are being incarcerated for longer periods, and it just simply delays the entire process, which is already delayed, Clement, because of the COVID-19 difficulties that we had over the last 18 months.
So what's the NPA or the Justice Department saying? Because if I remember correctly, when this hack happened, they actually downplayed it. They said, no, it's not that much of a big deal.
Yeah, the NPA, I went to them because ultimately they are the clients. They are the people who use the system to be able to manage in the courts. They have referred me to the Department of Justice. I've spoken briefly before coming on air to a senior person in the IT department who is going to be going on record with me later this afternoon. And what they're saying is that they are working. This is a long process. It's a very difficult process. I asked the question, well, what guarantee can you give that all the records will be restored? They can't give that guarantee. However, they do assure me that there are backups which will be able to be restored once they go through this process. The next question is, well, when are they going to be restored? They can't tell us.